y'all to check this out. I don't give a damn what y'all got to say, but I see the unsanitized street food jeans sticking out like a sore thumb, and I'm calling it like I see it. It is what the fuck it is. But y'all gonna sit here running the comments and tell me, oh, you don't know what the fuck you talking about. I'm good. I got religious lunch. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. I don't want to hear it. Because the evidence is there. It's there. Y'all are being played yet again, bro. Yet again.
We had a very busy and active day today, as you all know, but I wanted to take a moment to go through the 15 executive actions, or highlights of them, I should say, and some of the steps that the president asked agencies to take today. You should have all received copies of the executive orders as well as the accompanying fact sheets, but I want to take this moment to highlight them for the American public who are watching at home. He signed a proclamation effective immediately, halting further funding or construction of the previous administration's border wall and terminating the so-called national emergency used to wastefully divert billions for wall construction. Also today, President Biden sent an immigration bill to Congress. The U.S. Citizenship Act modernizes our immigration system. It provides hardworking people who've enriched our communities and lived here for decades an opportunity to earn citizenship. The president's priority reflected in the bill are to responsibly manage the border, keep families together, grow our economy, address the root causes of migration from Central America, and ensure that America can remain a refuge for those fleeing prosecution. With that, I'd love to take your questions. Zeke, why don't you kick us off?
Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us.
Tick faster, that'll be the hour they knock the slick blaster. Dick dastardly, a Muttley with sick laughter. A gunfight and they come to cut the mix master. And living the true gods, giving y'all nothing but the lick like two broads. Got more lyrics than the church got ooh lords. And they hold the mic at your attention like two swords. Or you the one with two blades on it. Hey you, don't touch the mic like it's AIDS on it.
All right. Welcome once again to the Beatzillapdx official show. I am your host, Beatzillapdx officially, and this is the weekly wrap up. Hopefully everybody is doing well on this Friday Eve. Yes, indeed. And as you were coming into this broadcast, if you could kindly hit that like button, share this out on your social media because we are live on YouTube. And then also subscribe to this channel if you have not already subscribed to this channel. And if you're watching on X, get on over to the YouTube channel and subscribe on to X. And on the Beatzillapdx official YouTube channel over here on YouTube. And that way you subscribe to this channel, you'll hit that notification bell, you'll hit the word all. That way you'll be notified anytime this channel goes live or a video is uploaded or premieres on YouTube exclusively, which most of the videos on this particular channel will be. So we have, I believe, two. It's generally going to be this particular live at the end of the week, and then Wednesday, the midweek report. But however, the midweek report, if it has to air like Thursday, that will only be on the YouTube channel. So you want to make sure you get over here to YouTube and subscribe. And then also, for those of you who have already been over here and subscribed, you can know that you can also join. You can join and become a member of this channel. And that way, you'll see certain videos that are not public. And for those of the members, they know that they will also see some videos that come out before everybody else sees them. So like the shorter videos, typically you guys will all see at the same time. But if it's going to be something around the 10-minute nature, the little longer video, those will air in the members area first. Might be overnight, it might be same day, depending on the situation. So, but with that being said, those are the perks. And also, I got to edit more videos to put in the members area also. So I appreciate all of the members, and we will be shouting all of you out later on in this broadcast. Now, with that being said, if you are over here on YouTube, you would be in the chat because for some reason on this particular how these things work, they don't incorporate Twitter chat for some reason. So, I wish they did, but they can't, or they don't right now. But if you come on over here to YouTube and subscribe to this channel, then you will also be in the chat as well. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm sure you should by now. Everybody knows how YouTube works. But what we do here on this particular channel is we shout out and check and tap in with the family and see who's in the house before we get things rolling. With that being said, we have Judah Yisrael in the house. Yes, indeed. Couch 2024. I know that's right. Black first, my good sister. Always a pleasure to have you in the building. Thank you for moderating, and thank you for being a member in all that you do. Appreciate you, my good sister. Antithesis in the building. Antithesis in the house. And I believe, yes. And also, thank you. Antithesis in the house, Black First, Valdosta, Georgia. Thank you for your Cash App donation. I appreciate it. And also, thank you for being a member. Most definitely appreciate that as well. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be upon you and yours. Thank you so much. And welcome
to this Friday evening broadcast. Appreciate you being here. Lady Effa in the house, Columbus, Ohio, checking in. All right. Columbus in the building. Thank you for being here and also being a member. And Rose City 93, what's going on, my brother? What's up, Zilla and the family? Yes, indeed, man. Good to see you can make one of the lives, man. I'm sure y'all be in the replay gang. You know what they need is, I guess that wouldn't really work in the replay gang because y'all watching at different times. But that's what the comments are. So, if y'all stop through in the comments, let me know that y'all caught the videos. And thank you for being here, Rose City, as always, brother. Appreciate it. Hey, yo, God in the building. What's goody in the hoodie? I appreciate you being here, man, and thank you for being a member as well. Appreciate it. Black First. David Boyd in the building. What's going on, brother? Bronx, New York in the building. Yes, indeed. Salute to you. Black First as always, my brother. And RBJ in the building. Black First from South Carolina. What's going on, my good brother? Appreciate you being here, man. Black First. And we have Oyela's Cadence in here. Grand night to everyone. Appreciate you being here. Thank you for being a moderator as well. We are officially international. Yes, indeed. Appreciate you being here as always, my good sister. And Key Prince being in the building. Key Prince, peace and blessings. Appreciate you being here. Black First. And thank you for being a member and sending me the good info that you do. I appreciate it. Thank you. And we got a good brother, dark-skinned brother in the building. What's happening? What's happening, my brother? Yes, indeed. Good to see you as always. And thank you for being a moderator and a member. Appreciate it, man. Black First. And we got crew, reality, grand niggas in the building. Black First from work. I heard somebody bring your name up into space. I think I was listening to Tariq's space from the other day. Because was I in that particular space? Because I got a chance to catch one of his spaces. But I think I was listening to the replay. And he mentioned your name. Oh, I talked to crew. I talked to crew. And I think we have some different ideas, but I kind of agree with what you're saying. Yeah, you was saying something that of the sort, but you brought your name up. But man, thank you for being here, Black First, man, and appreciate you also for being a member. Yeah, I just noticed that they brought your name up. Like, oh, okay. Yeah. All right. So, with that being said, family, it's been interesting, man. Very interesting week. All right. We are already over 30 in the chat. All right. There we are. How is everybody doing this Friday evening? Hopefully everybody is doing well. What's going on, X? Yes, indeed. I'll bring that down a bit. Yeah, there we go. All right. So, like I said, a lot going on. Mainly the 40-day and waiting. I guess it was the 40-day and 40 nights of preparation for old Kamala to come on out the woodwork and finally talk to the people as being the sitting vice president in the current administration for about 3.5 years now, and also being head of the ticket of the DNC going into this particular election cycle because they have ousted the sitting president, the acting president right now, who is spending a lot of time on the beach, but he is still the president, Joe Biden. And last night was very interesting watching the interview, and I'm not going to play it in its entirety, but I do have some snippets. But what I want to know is after last night, is there anybody watching that is a still on board? Kamala, no matter what, we're going full tilt, baby. Well, if that is you, I would like to hear from you. Because something that we seem to not have enough is a open dialogue about what we're saying. Antithesis with the super chat. Let's go. Yes, indeed. I appreciate that. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be upon you and yours. Thank you. I appreciate that. Man, let's get it in. I want to know, is there anybody watching that says, I don't care if she is flip-flopping, and I don't care if she is Satan incarnate in a dress. I'm still voting for Kamala. And I couldn't help but notice everybody, they try to get real kind of funny about her name. And it's like, you do realize that there's a whole Indian character. So y'all don't need to get all bent out of shape over that, because Miss Marvel's name is literally Kamala Khan. So we're seeing Kamala. You're saying Kamala. The whichever way you pronounce it still means the same thing. Still means the same thing. So, tit for tat, I guess. But with that being said, Black Anthem in the house. Black First. Black First fam. I appreciate you. Black Anthem. And I believe Black Anthem, you're a sister. So if I got that right, let me know. Because, I don't some of y'all names be so ambiguous. I'm not sure what it is. Are you I don't want to mislabel or misgender. You know how folks should be. I get it. But I appreciate you for being here. And with that being said, for those of you who are just now tuning in and you're just now getting here, I want to play something that I played in the first place, because there's for especially you Democratic supporters. I just got to know if you're here, because I might let you come on in. We can have a respectful dialogue. You would definitely have to. I'll put the link in the chat here shortly. So I would advise you to come over to YouTube so you can get this link. Come chime in. And I want to know why what are we missing about why we're apprehensive about why we can trust or can't trust Kamala Harris. One of the things that I personally have a question about is, why are we using so much deception? Now, one of the things that came out in this particular interview is that even the vice president, we're having a lot of these situations where people misspeak. Oh, I misspoke. You know what you were doing or did not ever do. So when we're seeing a lot of that, I have a question about, well, how can we trust what we're saying here based on everything? Now, also here's my issue. Like, if you go, I'm not sure if they've changed it, but the White House has literally had the vice president listed as the first Black American vice president. Black American? And they're using this. If you'll notice something that they keep going back to. This is how you know she ain't Black. They're telling it, and it makes so much sense why people were fighting our delineation. Don't it? And aren't how things are playing out right now? Doesn't it really speak to our delineation? Because one of the things that they are saying about Jamaica is the term Jamaica in the census also is latched on to Black. I mean, there's a lot of unraveling that we need to do. And I'm glad we started doing it. For those who, why do you hate us? Nobody hates you. We love ourselves. And we've got wrapped and roped and trapped into the pitfalls of this wicked anti-black bureaucracy that they have executed so wickedly excellent against us. It's going to take a lot to dig ourselves out. But this one thing right here, America is doomed, not just because of you blacks. So I mean, I just want y'all to, don't get up in the, man, this guy's racist. This guy's, they are both racist to me. So we can lay that groundwork out the, oh, you sound like a Trump supporter. I sound like a black agenda supporter. So like I say, I'll invite some folks to come on up. Y'all can definitely come on up here and let me know why we should trust this woman and what is she proposing as a difference to what we have gotten here. There's a whole, this crisis didn't start with Donald Trump telling his friends to shoot down some border deal. So let's establish the truth, historically documented White House facts from January 2021.
We had a very busy and active day today, as you all know, but I wanted to take a moment to go through the 15 executive actions, or highlights of them, I should say, and some of the steps that the president asked agencies to take today. You should have all received copies of the executive orders as well as the accompanying fact sheets, but I want to take this moment to highlight them for the American public who are watching at home. He signed a proclamation effective immediately, halting further funding or construction of the previous administration's border wall and terminating the so-called national emergency used to wastefully divert billions for wall construction. Also today, President Biden sent an immigration bill to Congress. The U.S. Citizenship Act modernizes our immigration system. It provides hardworking people who've enriched our communities and lived here for decades an opportunity to earn citizenship. The president's priority reflected in the bill are to responsibly manage the border, keep families together, grow our economy, address the root causes of migration from Central America, and ensure that America can remain a refuge for those fleeing prosecution. With that, I'd love to take your questions. Zeke, why don't you kick us off?
So let's knock two birds out with one stone right off the rip. Two things you just heard there. Number one, their executive action, actually three. Their executive actions, number one, immediately opened the border. It halted all enforcement. Then all of the standing things and the standing laws that were keeping all of this invasion at bay, you just heard them on day one with the stroke of Joe Biden's pen. This is the Biden-Harris administration. You saw them start changing things. These people obviously did not vote this man in. But yet and still, this package is designed to give immediate amnesty and support to illegals. See, and you'll have these people come around talking about $25,000. The fine print is you have to have the $25,000 for first-time home buyers is a match. So you first have to have the $25,000 yourself to make that $50,000 down payment, to my understanding. However, here with Hacienda and other programs, they are footing the bill themselves. No match. No, you have to have this. No need, you need to have anything like that. No. Come on in. And a matter of fact, this is a sanctuary city that's gonna take care of your family and your family's lineage and heritage, and make sure everybody's good and doing good and swell. We're gonna give you money for your schools on site, so you have on-site daycare and on-site education for your children, paid for by the taxpayers of the good old city of Portland and Multnomah County. This is a city thing. This isn't even a statewide program. This is, so understand what I'm saying. 30,000 in a city for illegals. This is how much money they are funding and pumping into flooding the zone. So we're going to get a little bit into that. But in the meantime, I will put this link here in the chat in a minute. But like I said, I wanna get some of these clips in here so we can take a look at some things first, because I want to address something. And okay, this is going to be interesting, because this first clip here, we're going to revisit another tap dancer. And this cat, boy, he been shining really, really hard for the Democrats as of late. And this is none other than P. Lies. Plies. So he here he is again. Now let's understand something. Democrats have had free reign for 12 years. 4 years interrupted. And we're talking about not going back. In the midst of those 12 years, we've had Mike Brown, Trayvon Martin, and many others deleted by hands of law enforcement that still nothing is being done about. We got an Emmett Till lynching bill and then watched them promptly turn around with an active warrant on Carolyn Bryant and ignore to do anything. Let her go right on the hell without any kind of prosecution, which she should have got that hell here first. You understand what I'm saying? She should have got that hell here first. But, I guess, things just didn't turn out that way. Nonetheless, we do have them to look at and say, hey, why didn't you give the Till family justice? Instead, you'll have them come up there for photo ops. And again, since Kamala Harris has taken the nomination, have you seen her around black folks nearly as much as you did just like 2 months ago? When, by the way, she was deemed the worst vice president in history. Political liability is how they were looking at it. So I'm just saying. But let's hear what Plies got to say.
Hey, this real quick. I was just telling somebody this, thought I'd share it with y'all. I said, you know what's interesting to me when you're looking at the two candidates running for office? The standards are totally different for the two participants, in my opinion. I said, America wants to explain. And it wants Donald J. Trump to entertain. I'm going to say it again. America wants Kamala Harris to explain. Anything come out your goddamn, explain it. How you going to tell us? How you going to run this country? How that's going to work? When you going to do it? How you going to do it? Everything come out your mouth, explain it. And when it comes to Donald J. Trump, just entertain us, baby.
That's absolutely false. That's the excuse of somebody that like when somebody done got caught cheating man, why ain't you looking at somebody else? I mean, man, somebody else over here was doing such and such. Why ain't you going hard at them? I don't know. Why is it just me? It ain't. It ain't. But that's how they do. So I put this link in the chat for anyone who is still dead set voting for Kamala Harris. I want to know why when we're seeing what we see. Now, if you come up, we're going to have a respectful conversation. Don't come up talking crazy. We're going to be banned real quick. And also, you're going to have to, I won't make you put your face on screen. But if you come up on the studio, you're going to have your camera on or you won't be getting up. So let me go ahead and play a little more of this.
Hit your little dance. Call them Tampon Tim. Call them Cricket such and such. Go to Arlington Cemetery, push the people out the way, violate all the rules. Just give us the viral moment. Just give us that. That's just entertain us, baby. That's it. That's all you got to do. Just entertain us. Shoot these ratings through the roof. Entertain us. Make us laugh. Make us hold our side. Just entertain us. But this woman over here, this sister, like it's been from the beginning of time, explain yourself to us. Explain it. Your standards here. But this guy over here, and people like him, no. We good with you. We just need you to entertain us. And don't say, no, it's because she's never been president and he's been president. No. It's been that way for him from the beginning of time. And I'm going to say it again. America wants Kamala Harris to explain, and it wants Donald J. Trump to entertain. And y'all tell me, am I tripping? Or what y'all think?
I think you tripping. I think you are tripping. Yeah, Plies, I think you tripping. Now, something I did notice that kind of cracked me up a little bit, though. You realize he wasn't cussing. Now, Blueberry Muffin, I know you still ain't voting for Kamala Harris. But so I'm gonna bring you up here in a second. But again, the link is for people who are absolutely voting for Kamala Harris. But I want to bring my sister up real quick because it's been a good little minute since I got a chance to chop it up with Sister Blueberry Muffin. So let me bring Blueberry Muffin up and let's hear what our sister got to say. Let me get you up in here. Okay.
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm trying to get you on the screen. I don't know why I don't see you.
Peace and blessings to you, Beatzilla, and everybody in the chat.
Yes, indeed. I'm trying to get you on the screen. Let me see what's going on here.
One of the issues that I have right now.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
No, go ahead. I was trying to get you on the screen, but for some reason it's not putting you on the screen. But we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay.
Sis, you got it.
Okay. I'm sitting on the couch, okay, because neither candidate is offering me anything. Now, the only thing that I cared about was what's going on actually where I live. The only reason for that is because I sit on the zoning board. And there's some doo-doo that's going on locally, and I had to literally get out there and mobilize with other community activists who are tired of what's going on right now. Tired of the aggressive gentrification. We're tired of the gaslighting. We're tired of no support from local and statewide initiatives that have basically left Black folk fending for ourselves. It's no joke up here, people. We really are all we have. Okay? Don't believe the gaslighting. Don't fall victim to all of this social media drama. get off of your asses and do something. I am dead serious. Even if it's just writing your local, your city council member, going by your mayor's office, going over there raising hell at that school board.
Mhm.
This is what a race war looks like, people. This is what a race war looks like. It is for our detriment, designed for us to fail. Okay? The reason why you hear so much nonsense about Kamala is white people are trying to convince other white people that black people support Kamala. We control the narrative. Always remember, the road through the White House starts and ends with us. Now, I don't know if anybody paid attention to that CNN interview, but that has effectively ended Kamala Harris's presidential campaign. When Dana Bash, who gives, she pitches the slow balls, the easy balls.
Yes.
Dana Bash came forward and asked Kamala about being black. Kamala just said, next question. Boom, y'all. Kamala's done as a candidate and as a politician. So, before I yield the mic, I will tell you all of its media propaganda of an empty suit. Do not believe anything in the media when they tell you about Kamala Harris. First and foremost, she was raised as a Hindu Tamil. Her mom is a her mom's now deceased, but her mom raised her as a Hindu Tamil. Second of all, she did not live in Oakland during her formative years. Her mom and her dad divorced when she was like 5 or 6 years young. Took her to a very posh Montreal suburb where Kamala went to a French-speaking Catholic all-girls school. From primary school all the way up till she was about 18 or 19, because that's how they do it in French-speaking Quebec.
Right.
So when anybody says some nasty business about, okay, she participated in the civil rights movement. Well, first of all, she left the United States in 1972. Second of all, she was too young to have participated in any civil rights movement. And that nonsense about her mom going to meetings where there were black students, let me tell you this, and this is a fact. Any immigrant that comes to the United States, they tell them to avoid black people. Fact. She was in the Bay Area, Berkeley, in the 60s, married to another immigrant from, who identified as Jamaican, but we know he was a Hindu Jamaican. Okay? They were the only brown people in Oakland at the time, and Oakland was white. Lily white. All right? And they were told to stay away from black people. So that lie that the media is putting out there about her being part of civil rights movement, I've got 4 or 5 adults, older people in their 80s, who were there in the 60s, and they never saw hide nor hair of no East Indian woman. And let me tell you something about Shyamala Gopal. That's Kamala Harris's late mother. She was dark brown. She wasn't light brown like Kamala or what you see or think of most South Asians. Her mom was darker than a lot of black people.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't have missed a 5'1" dark skinned East Indian woman. Seriously. And that's all I got to say. Thank you for letting me up on the stage tonight, Beatzilla, and blessings to you.
Yes, indeed, my good sister. Appreciate it. Thank you for calling in. It's been a good long minute since I got a chance to rap with you and hear your contribution. So I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hope all is well. Hope all is well with you and yours. We also got some more family in the house. We got In the Mix Radio in the house. Black first, brother. Yes, indeed. St. Louis in the building. I see Tater Man in the house. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's going on, brother? Tater Man in the house. And I see my sister. Hey, there you are. Sister Miriam in the house. Yes, indeed. Good to see you, my good sister. Happy Friday, Black First. And we have Lynette Williams in the house. Black First, Montgomery, Alabama. All right. Got a stepsister down there. Yes, indeed. Let me see. Who else do I see? I saw Kid Gravity coming in. Oh, and also see Big Buddha or Boda. Yes, sir. That interview was embarrassing and has me low-key worried for the country. LOL. Yo, we gonna look at a little bit of that interview. 40 days. 40 days to wait for that. 40 days we waited for that. Come on, man. Really? Kid Gravity Beyond, Black First Night Rider check in. Yes, sir. What's going on, my good brother? Man, Black First, always a pleasure to see you in the building, man. Oh, man. And if y'all didn't see when Kid Gravity, man, shout out to Kid Gravity Beyond, because he covered the DNC, one of the people that covered the DNC night in, night out. He choked down what four nights. I think you took one night off, but for the most part covered all. But I think you came on later, so yeah, I think he still ended up covering all 4 nights. So yeah, he toughed it out. Man, salute to you, brother, because boy, that it was dope watching you do it, because you know I'm watching like the live feed. So the live feed I'm watching is a little before yours, but I'm listening to your audio. So I'm looking at the feed, but I'm listening to your audio. So it man, you know, you did an excellent job, brother, man. So I that was very, very that's what got me through it, is listening to Kid Gravity's commentating live streaming, because whew. So yeah, salute to you, brother, for choking down 4 days of that. Golly. Golly. Wee. Our brother Black Alpha was at the Savannah the joint yesterday. That's so funny too. Think about what they did. So they have a stop at Savannah, but so the same day that this interview is going to air, I guess they filmed the interview there. I guess. So it's appearing. Take that as you will. That DNC was Woodstock. And then to be so lowbrow to leak for the fake leak. For the fake leak. I mean, how lowbrow? You have a fake leak. Beyonce going. I think we saw Beyonce's plane dropping. I thought her plane landing. Oh, Beyonce. What I heard is Beyonce's in the building. Oh, Beyonce's here. Oh man, she set them poor folks up and got all that attention. Got all that attention just to hear Pink. And then the song that Pink sang. What about us? What about the empty promises? What about us? Like, wait, what? Was this? Were you singing for us, Pink? I'm kind of confused. It's like Pink was the only black representation up there on that stage. Let me sing this song for black folks because ain't nobody else gonna do it. Oh my goodness. What about us? What about the empty promises? What? We empty promises. I'm not sure if that's the song you sing right before she comes out. Give me freedom. But take this jab. I support mandatory. Word? Oh man, she ain't never said nothing like that. Oh, you gonna be lying on her. Oh, why don't you be lying? Oh, you guys be lying on the sister. Yeah, maybe not. I'm just saying. It should be on the stage. Let's get this on stage now. Let me get that up there. Wait a minute. Hold on. As we talk about freedom, this is something that's very interesting. Remember, they was advocating to get people's pages shut down, and as we now know, with Mark Zuckerberg coming out talking, I mean, let's revisit the whole freedom conversation because, that is very unflattering. But let's just revisit. Let me help you out, sister. Lord. Yeah, okay, that's a little better. But when you're trying to take other people's freedoms away, how now can you sit up here and come in our faces talking about we're going forward with freedom? No, ma'am. And you know how much they've done. Oh, you could, if you talking about anybody being a dictator, excuse me? Let's take a listen.
I guess the question about you I know you wrote to Twitter and the CEO, Jack Dorsey, and asked him to take away the president's Twitter handle, his account. Wow. How is that not a violation of free speech? I mean, the president has the same rights that you have, that I have, and how would that not just be a slippery slope where they have to ban, half of the people on Twitter?
I've heard that argument, but here's the thing, Jake. First of all, a corporation, which is what Twitter is, it does not have it has obligations, and in this case, Twitter has terms of use policy, and their terms of use dictate who receives the privilege of speaking on that platform and who does not. And Donald Trump has clearly violated the terms of use. And there should be a consequence for that, not to mention the fact that he has used his platform, being the president of the United States, in a way that has been about inciting fear and potentially inciting harm against a witness to what might be a crime against our country and our democracy. And for that reason, I do believe that that it's clear that he has violated the terms of use. And I'm asking that Twitter does what it has done in previous occasions, which is to revoke someone's privilege because they've not lived up to the advantages of privilege.
Says you. And you're saying this while how invasive is that? And she says that as if it's not. Twitter is a private company, which now is owned by Elon Musk, but a private company, and you're leaning on them to silence a former sitting president. That's unheard of. And a president who, for all intents and purposes, everybody know he's going to run again. And so you spend all of this time trying to suppress his voice. All of that has been a waste of time. And then you paint yourself in a corner, Democrats, because the main objective that you have been carrying out is benign neglect against Black America. And so let's avoid addressing the big elephant in the room, which is now the big sprawling grassroots, which clearly is the main voice of Black America, not the already shooting. See, they were doing that. Oh, it's just an echo chamber. No, it ain't. And now the world has to now start speaking of it as an existing factor. Yeah, you got a voter block here that you understand you have to appeal to. Because, see, we're looking at, like I said, like how they talk in church, the Joshua generation. We're them. And the Moses generation that the Most High couldn't let into the promised land because they were still stuck on their slave ways. Well, that group is dying off. They're trying to replenish themselves as much as they can. But here's the problem they're having with this particular candidate. This candidate is one of the biggest liars that you've had in front of you, and bad liars in a long time. She's worse than Hillary Clinton. Much worse than Hillary Clinton. I mean, it's very interesting that she's been able to go this long. I'm kind of it's just strange, I guess I should say. Like, wow. So let me take a few. Let me check where I'm at here. Let me see if I got the right video to start with. Okay, hold on. Oh, okay. Yeah. See, let's do this. Okay, so we'll start here. And so I'm not really going to be going in any particular order because for those Blueberry says ScrewTube effing with my account. That ain't good. Oh wow. But I'm not going to be going in any kind of order because I just want to hit the key points that are in these particular clips. So starting with this one. Yeah. So this is a very interesting point. Because now I'll play the part to where she kind of beats around the bush and she skips the question when being asked about the blackness. All of a sudden, that wasn't important for her to answer. It's been important for everybody to shove it down our throat as a black woman. We're our sister girl, and we need to protect our sister girl. She had the chance to say, I'm black and I'm proud and that's what I'm going to be. And then she says, oh, it's over his same old tricks. It wasn't him that has the initial question. It's us. And so they're trying to use Donald Trump as, oh, that's where the question is coming from. No. The black grassroots have been saying and still say and stand on, she ain't black. Been standing on it for the last 4 years. So let's hear from her and her stance on, because I'm sure that somebody would be, well, she just can't do this for everybody now. I mean, come on now. Is she not the president just for black people? She's the president for everybody.
I'm running because I believe that I am the best person to do this job at this moment.
Based on what?
For all Americans, regardless
all Americans.
Of race and gender.
Oh.
But I did see that photograph, and I was deeply touched by it. And you're right, it's the back of her head, her two little braids, and then I'm in the front of the photograph, obviously speaking. And
yeah, magical moment. With I'm sure all little Indian girls around the world are just feeling so inspired, right? Man. our folks, man, I just don't understand. We want so desperate to be accepted, and then we start allowing people to represent us that ain't us. Once again, going for somebody who ain't us, because she's not like us. She doesn't have any of the history of our culture. That's why she speaks about it so vague. There's no connection there. And I mean, and the whole Kwanzaa, when I was a kid, we used to celebrate Kwanzaa. Where? In Canada? The African-American holiday that started here in America, you were doing in Canada. Okay. All right. My mom would gather. We would go over these African principles. Where in the Hindu faith are these African principles? Because, I mean, you mean to tell me that your Hindu mother went Hindu all the rest of the year, but right after Christmas said, you got time to break on out all the Kwanzaa stuff. Okay. Sure.
It's very humbling. It's very humbling in many ways.
Did she talk to you about it afterwards?
Oh, she had a lot to talk about. She had a lot. She listened to everything, and she listens to everything.
She gave you your hot takes?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Uh-huh.
Madam Vice President, Governor Walz, thank you so much for your time.
Okay, so that was the end. How does this strike y'all, family? For real. For real. How does this strike y'all? And I didn't realize she was as small as she is. I thought she was taller like a female basketball player, but come to find out, Kamala Harris is only like 5'1" or something like that. She's little. And so you got the kind of the average size man. And what's so funny, the way they're playing it right now, I don't even know if I was some of these men, I would really kind of, I don't know how I'd feel, because what's with this playing to the beta male thing right now? Oh, beta male, there's room and space for men who aren't all testosterone laden. What the hell does that mean? Testosterone laden. What? Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't want all that testosterone. So I got a Doug. No more basketball players for me. I'm just saying. Now, again, if there are any Kamala Harris supporters, Kamala, let me say it right. Kamala supporters, come on up and speak your mind. Your support. So you are still voting for Kamala Harris. Why? Okay, so here's another. Here's another. We're gonna go to another clip. Like I said, we're going out of order because I just want to touch on some of these. Like I said, I don't know how you go so blatantly dishonest and then say, oh, well, this is cool. She's trustworthy. How?
President Harris, you were a very staunch defender of President Biden's capacity to serve another 4 years.
Yes, she was.
Right after the debate, you insisted that President Biden is extraordinarily strong. Given where we are now, do you have any regrets about what you told the American people?
No, not at all. Not at all. I have served with President Biden for almost 4 years now, and I'll tell you, it's one of the greatest honors of my career, truly. He cares so deeply about the American people. He is so smart and loyal to the American people. And I have spent hours upon hours with him, be it in the Oval Office or the Situation Room. He has the intelligence, the commitment, and the judgment and disposition that I think the American people rightly deserve in their president.
And so why did they force him out? This, ladies and gentlemen, is what you call classic doublespeak. Why is he not the nominee right now then, if that's the case? Oh, you mean to tell me he just woke up one morning and said, you know what, I'm tired. I think I need to just sit down on the beach somewhere. I'm going to give it over to Kamala. And I'm Kamala, come on over here. I love you, kid. You know, I'm going to endorse you. And I'm going to go over here to this beach. Now, let's do all these photo ops that we can. Don't know how much more time I got. But, I mean, this dude, he's still acting president, but his cognitive decline, y'all just going to let him just waste the rest of his next little 2 months on the beach? Or his next little few months, because he still, he turns it over next year, technically. But that is hilarious. That is hilarious. Let me hear some more.
By contrast, the former president has none of that.
Oh.
And so, one, I am so proud to have served as vice president to Joe Biden. And two, I am so proud to be running with Tim Walz for president of the United States and to bring America what I believe the American people deserve, which is a new way forward, and turn the page on the last decade of what I believe has been contrary to where the spirit of our country really lies.
With the last decade, of course,
I'm sure this is what she's going to get to in the point, because the last decade, this man only had 4 years. So the last decade has been y'all. What are you talking about?
last 3.5 years has been part of your administration.
I'm talking about an era that started about a decade ago, where there is some suggestion, warped, I believe it to be, that the measure of the strength of a leader is based on who you beat down, instead of where I believe most Americans are, which is to believe that the true measure of the strength of a leader is based on who you lift up. That's what's at stake as much as any other detail that we could discuss in this election.
So is this uplifting?
But I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
Maybe
This country is doomed. It is doomed, not just because of African Americans, but because by 2040, this country is going to be minority white European. You hear me? Minority white European. And you guys are going to have to start working more with Hispanics, who make up a larger portion of the population than y'all do.
And of course, we always never can forget this part.
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
You know, you guys had that little clip that was taken out of context. Do you have any other videos of her saying that she, because remember, there was a period in time where they were like, well, she even said that she was black anyway. Yeah. On the Breakfast Club, and then while she was running for San Francisco DA, that was the time when she referred to herself as an African American, which she most definitely is not. She definitely doesn't fit that description. So she could fall under the term black, I guess. But see, this is why that delineation, boy, that drove a monkey wrench in the program, didn't it? She was supposed to just skate on being sister girl. We like, hold on. I see something awry. Let's close this gate. Wait a minute. Now, let me see. Let me get over here. Let's see. I'm going next. Bear with me, family, while I find the next clip I want y'all to see. Okay. Yes, let's get this question here. And again, family, if there's anybody watching here on X or here on YouTube, I would advise you to come on over here to YouTube. There is a link in the chat. You can hit that link and join this broadcast and state your case on why you're still voting for Kamala Harris or Kamala Harris after last night's what I see as a debacle. Y'all might see it differently, and that's okay. But I would like to hear the reasoning behind it.
How should voters look at some of the changes that you've made, that you've explained some of here in your policy? Is it because you have more experience now and you've learned more about the information? Is it because you were running for president in a Democratic primary? And should they feel comfortable and confident that what you're saying now is going to be your policy moving forward?
Dana, I think the most important and most significant aspect of my policy perspective and decisions is my values have not changed. You mentioned the Green New Deal. I have always believed, and I have worked on it, that the climate crisis is real, that it is an urgent matter to which we should apply metrics that include holding ourselves to deadlines around time. We did that with the Inflation Reduction Act. We have set goals for the United States of America and by extension the globe around when we should meet certain standards for reduction of greenhouse gas emissions. As an example, that value has not changed. My value around...
You know, it makes me think of like the idea of mandatory electric cars. Y'all all get these batteries. Get these these overpriced throwaway cars. That thing is a battery. And all of them moving parts attached to a battery. It's like if you get in one of them cars, you better lease that mug. Don't you buy it. Better lease that mug and give it back. Because that car ain't nothing but a battery and you ain't really getting nothing worth. That's not going to be worth anything. Old school engine. I mean, hell, look at the whole catalytic converter business. Old school's where it's at. But, you know, what can you say? And she talking about Green New Deal and all of her stuff is flipping because she was against fracking. Now, oh no, I've changed my, I've since 2019 or 2020, I'm against it. 2019, she for it. So there's a lot of flip-flopping with her that's not being explained. We all just want her to explain herself. And yes, because she is running for the highest office in the land, called President of the United States. We need some answers.
What we need to do to secure our border. That value has not changed. I spent 2 terms as the Attorney General of California, prosecuting transnational criminal organizations, violations of American laws regarding the illegal passage of guns, drugs, and human beings across our border. My values have not changed.
Yeah, it's very interesting because her values have not changed. But again, let's just revisit this, family.
We had a very busy and active day today, as you all know, but I wanted to take a moment to go through the 15 executive actions, or highlights of them, I should say, and some of the steps that the president asked agencies to take today. You should have all received copies of the executive orders as well as the accompanying fact sheets, but I want to take this moment to highlight them for the American public who are watching at home. He signed a proclamation effective immediately, halting further funding or construction of the previous administration's border wall and terminating the so-called national emergency used to wastefully divert billions for wall construction. Also today, President Biden sent an immigration bill to Congress. The U.S. Citizenship Act modernizes our immigration system. It provides hardworking people who've enriched our communities and lived here for decades an opportunity to earn citizenship. The president's priority reflected in the bill are to responsibly manage the border, keep families together, grow our economy, address the root causes of migration from Central America, and ensure that America can remain a refuge for those fleeing prosecution. With that, I'd love to take your questions. Zeke, why don't you kick us off?
Flooding the zone. Now let's look at what's happened. You flood the zone day one. Why would you make illegals a priority in the midst of trying to come back from a pandemic? You talk about mismanagement. That's gross mismanagement. Let me see where I need to go next. Okay, that's me. Right here. Right here. This is where we're going next. All right. So let me get this in here. Yeah, there we go. All right. Let's hear this little piece.
Another issue, big one, is immigration. As Vice President, you were tasked with addressing the root causes of migration in southern countries and
northern part of Central America.
The northern part of
That's her owning being the border czar, for those of you who have been running around there with that lie saying that she's not. She just actually owned it, by the way. That's yes, I was tasked to do that. Yes, this region. She was never the border czar. No, she was never the border czar. The border, no, she wasn't the border czar. Never. You can go look on January 2021. A lot of this stuff is on government websites. Actually, all of it is. So you say, well, she wasn't this. It's literally stated on their government website. This is how bad things have gotten. They have the evidence, and they're still turn around and lie to you. How can I trust this kind of administration? We have seen what they've already been doing. I'm just curious, how do we get a solid answer out of these people? Here's another.
Of Central America that affects the southern border of the U.S. Mm-hmm. During the Biden-Harris administration, there were record numbers of illegal border crossings.
Yes, indeed.
Why did the Biden-Harris administration wait 3.5 years to implement sweeping asylum restrictions?
Well, first of all, the root causes work that I did as vice president, that I was asked to do by the president, has actually resulted in a number of benefits, including historic investments by American businesses in that region. The number of immigrants coming from that region has actually reduced since we began that work. But I will say this, that
the immigrants coming from that region, possibly so. That I'll give credit to that. But here's the problem. What about all the other ones that are not coming from that little small region? Because we're still having plenty. So that means that these other folks are coming from a little bit of everywhere. This, if I didn't know any better, someone could possibly speculate that it looks like you're trying to amass an army. With people that have no loyalty to this land other than the people that they have been in contact with that have allowed them to skate our legal system and come here in droves And so they're building up their alliances, whatever shadow situation that is, because somebody's paying for it. That's for certain, besides taxpayers. But let's hear a little more. Like she's, not part of the problem.
Joe Biden and I and our administration worked with members of the United States Congress on an immigration issue that is very significant to the American people and to our security, which is the border. And through bipartisan work, including some of the most conservative members of the United States Congress, a bill was crafted, which we supported, which I support. And Donald Trump got word of this bill that would have contributed to securing our border. And because he believes that it would not have helped him politically, he told his folks in Congress, don't put it forward. He killed the bill. A border security bill that would have put 1,500 more agents on the border. And let me tell you something, the Border Patrol endorsed the bill. And
funny thing is, you never needed it. See, what they keep throwing at you, and that's why I keep playing that to remind you. There was a border bill, and he killed it. You killed the country when you undid all of what he already had in place, keeping these illegals at bay. And now you want to fix it by letting them stay. When us as Black Americans know that you had them here to flood the zone on us in the first place. Nothing less than mass deportation can fix this for us. Nothing less. Don't come at us with their separating families. Welcome to America. What you want us to say? Well, don't you have some compassion? Hasn't that been done to your family? Yep, so it can be done to them too. Don't let them run that garbage on you. You don't owe them folks nothing. Go back to where you came from. Well, they're fleeing. No, they just coming in here to get their opportunity on. Miss me.
And I'm sure in large part because they knew they're working around the clock and 1,500 more agents would help them. That bill would have allowed us to increase seizures of fentanyl. Ask any community.
How would that bill help you seize fentanyl? See, it sounds like you guys need to really own the problem that you created. And I can see why Trump wouldn't want this bill to go through because he already had things. His bill was fine. And it was where the law he put in place was just fine. Y'all came and messed it up. That's why we spent so much time with these illegals who you have coming over here to flood the zone on us. There's no planes lining up to take them back. Now, the Haitians, on the other hand, boy, oh boy, oh boy, this administration saw fit to get them out lickety-split now, didn't they? Yeah, never forget that neither. There's a lot that's happened these last 3 years, ain't it? Hear a little more of this line.
In America that has been devastated by fentanyl, what passing that bill would have done to address their concern and a pain that they've experienced.
So you would push that legislation again. I just want to
Not
ask
only
about
push it, I will make sure that it comes to my desk and I would sign it.
just one other question about.
Don't believe you, lady. That's for sure. Do not believe that. But I mean, hell, that's Kamala Harris. You ain't supposed to believe her in the first place. Now, anybody out there that is still Team Kamala, let me know. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. Yep. The other question that she was about to ask her. Let's hear. Let's hear this. This is still on the immigration piece.
About something that you said in 2019 when you first ran. There was a debate. You raised your hand when asked whether or not the border should be decriminalized. Do you still believe that?
I believe there should be consequence. We have laws that have to be followed and enforced that address and deal with people who cross our border illegally. And there should be consequence. And let's be clear, in this race, I'm the only person who has prosecuted transnational criminal organizations who traffic in guns, drugs, and human beings. I'm the only person in this race who actually served a border state as Attorney General to enforce our laws. And I
She's the sitting vice president right now and the border czar for the last 3 years. And she's telling you about when she worked in California. That's important to hear right now, right? Wow. Wow. Man. Yeah, anybody out there? Anybody want to take this challenge up? Because y'all be in these comment threads hella tough. I want to respond. I got something to say. I'm gonna stand up for Kamala. Well, come on. I want to see somebody that's real. Let's hear it. Because, see, we often hear about what we don't know and what we don't understand in the civics and the three branches of government that we just don't get because we're so uneducated about politics and political situations, although we are the ones that are consistently posting, talking, and researching and posting again and delivering information to the public, to which now you know as the voices of new black media. But somehow we're politically ignorant when it comes around voting time, and we ain't just blindly voting for this lady because we must hate black women because we also misogynistic because we just can't stand to see a black woman in charge. Number one, she's not black and we don't see her as black, but even still, we don't want this woman in charge. Whatever the hell she is, call her whatever you want to, call her black. We don't want this here. No, sorry, Bob. Yes, indeed. Black Alpha Network in the house. What's going on, my good brother? Zilla is the truth. Salute, brother, man. Salute to you, my brother. Man, and salute to like I said earlier, salute to our brother Black Alpha Network who went out there and suffered through the little pit stop they made yesterday in Savannah to go ahead and give some more of the same canned speech. I think she kind of reworded it, but when I flipped over and seen a little bit of that speech, it still sounded pretty much the same. So, and no, again, it's funny that they also aired this on the same day. They was trying to do a double whammy or maybe even damage control because you have a canned speech and then you have a pre-taped interview. But a pre-taped interview, even with, I'll say semi, if it was asked for some hardcore, not quite. But let's say, for the sake of argument, semi-softball questions. This ain't presidential, family. I don't know what to tell you. Y'all want this woman? It ain't about her being a woman. It's about you don't want a leader who simply can't lead. Not that she would be the first, she wouldn't be the first woman leader. At all. That doesn't make any sense. Not at all. There's been women leaders before. Trey Neville in the house. Salute to you. I work on cars on a daily basis. Yes, indeed. Man. So, hey, I'm sure them Teslas, I know the Teslas have got to be just glorified junk. It's really fancy and digital on the inside, though. Don't get me wrong. But I'm just saying, what the hell are you going to be able to do with that car if that car go down? You just got expensive for nothing. And then try to sell it and be like, yeah, I'll give you $2,500 for it. I mean, man, y'all going to be sick. The resale value on them ain't going to be nothing. Kermit S. Wingfield. When I say this, stand for some people. Man, I'm telling you, brother. Kermit S. Wingfield in the building, man. Salute to you, Black First, brother. Man, so let's hear a little more about this. Well, she's about to finish up lying.
Would enforce our laws as president going forward. I recognize the problem.
No, you won't. Man, right now over there in Aurora, Colorado, which is a suburb of Denver, which is actually closer to the airport. It's in between the airport and the city. And I mean, well, let me just say, okay, when I got off the airplane in Denver, one of the things I noticed, number one, Denver is hella black. So for those who don't know, there's a gang of black people in Denver. However, it's a gang of immigrants out there. It is a lot of immigrants out there. I'm like, because they have this train, this like commuter train that goes from the airport all the way to downtown Denver. And that's like the fastest mode of transportation if you didn't drive or wasn't renting a car. And somebody was picking me up from one of the stops. So I hopped this train, and as I'm riding on this train from the airport, I'm noticing, like, damn, are there any foundational Black Americans on this train? Like, all of the melanated people on that train was immigrants, and a lot of them worked at the airport. I'm like, oh, y'all are who are getting these jobs. Well, that's cool. Then, a few weeks later, me and my wife took a weekend, took a little road trip up to Seattle. Go see, walk around the pier or whatnot, see Pike Place. And we also went up there to go stop at some Black-owned food spots up there. But when we were up there, something we couldn't help but noticing, the only time we saw foundational Black Americans working, they were security guards. One sister and a few brothers. I'm like, what's this? It's crazy. So when Blueberry Muffin tell you about like the overload of immigrants up there, let me tell you something, man. That what was it? Westfall Mall. It's the South Center Mall. It's something because it's like South Center and Westfall. They're like two malls put together. Man, that thing. You walk in there, you might think you're in another country. Because you got stores in that place that don't even have English on the wall, on the marquee. It ain't even English. It's some kind of foreign language. Me and my wife are looking around like, yo, this is like Tetherville, USA. What is this? I mean, because there are very few. And I mean, Seattle and that whole area is loaded with Black folk. I just didn't know where they was at. You know? So it was very noticeable. And when you come up to the Pacific Northwest, we're very experienced with Indians. So just like Blueberry, like I could in my building. There's a couple, and we're, man, a prime example. Okay, so the building my wife used to work in, and then the building I'm in now. There's a Indian owned business in that building. I think they're like some kind of architecture firm. Now, for those people who don't know, you might mistake, especially the one cat I see all the time. You might mistake him for being Black. Curly hair and all. That dude is 100% Indian. So people get caught up in the phenotype, and he is an Indian. We see them all the time up here. A dead giveaway that they are straight Indians is Kamala's sister. Kamala's sister is the dead giveaway. Kamala can kind of pull it off. Her sister, absolutely not. Maya, boy, that woman, please come to the Pacific Northwest. You'll see there's a ton of them that look just like her up here. So to be like, oh yeah, I don't, man, she black. Look at the phenotype. Come to the Pacific Northwest and get your education, I guess. No, she don't look black. She looks Indian. She looks like the dark-skinned Indians we be seeing. And some of them folks are so much darker than us. I mean, dark. And still have Caucasian on their paperwork. I don't know what y'all be thinking. They ain't black. Dominique Devereaux in the building. Hey, y'all. Hey, Dominique Devereaux. Thank you for tuning in this evening. Appreciate it, man. Black first. And what did I just see? Oh, okay. We got a Sister Star. Sister Star with the CashApp donation. I appreciate it. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be up on you and yours. Thank you, Sister Star. I don't know if you even made it into the chat. I don't think so. Some chick named Star, so she must be watching on the TV. Salute to you, sis. Oh, okay. So let's there. And there's some chick named Star. Salute to you, my sisters. Thank you. Black first. And we have Mark Anthony, 81. Yes, indeed. Salute to you. Thank you for being here. And we got Moonrise in the building as well. Thank you. Black first. Thank you for being here. All right. So let me see. We're going next here. Is this what I wanted to? Is this what I need? Yeah. Let's do this. And this is the short clip that everybody should probably have seen by now, I'm sure. But let's hear what she has to say here.
He suggested that you happened to turn black recently for political purposes, questioning a core part of your identity.
Yeah.
Whoa. Core part? When you say core part, that means like her black identity is the foundation of her identity. That's a lie. She always and only says how much of an influence her mother was. Her mother's not black. So how could that be the core part of her identity? That's a fair question, isn't it? We're saying core part of her identity? How? Anyway.
Any same old tired playbook. Next question, please.
Yeah. That's it? That's it. Okay.
He didn't even bring it. That's what's so crazy. And I look at that again. I look at that as political chess. Because I think they felt that, and this is why they were mad at Trump, is that Trump kind of put his thumb in their eye with what he did, because they know where he got that question from. And so that's why then you start hearing, what's her name? Laura is that? No, Ann Coulter. Ann Coulter start, talking about foundational Black Americans. They're just ear hustling. They're just ear hustling people they hear on Twitter. So then they had to ramp it up. I'm telling you, boy, they ramping it up. Yeah, I showed you the thing from Uncle Luke, right? We saw that piece. Because there was another one I saw. And at first when I seen it, I'm like, man, I ain't going to say nothing because it ain't concerning me at all. But it is concerning us as a collective. And when I see stuff like this, it's like, oh, it's too, the timing is too put together for me. You feel what I'm saying? It's like, oh, how convenient. So where is this other video? Because you had Luke coming out talking about Tariq. There it is. There it is. And now you have somebody coming out on Brother Phil from African Diaspora Network. And now, when I see stuff like this, let me get this up here. Okay, there he is. And we have been warning you that they were going to be rolling out the new wave of shields. I guess we have ran through so many that they starting to roll out the G squad. They the H squad. They oh man. So this fella came out and they don't be doing their homework at all. It's like this is their thought of black, especially black men. This is how much they value what we do and are. But I'm not even going to worry about doing my homework on who they sent me to go attack. So I'm going to address it. He's one of the correspondents of the net. That's a network that man owns. Now, I'm sure you know all about black-owned media, so I'm sure you're a Roland Martin fan, but you didn't know that this brother owns his own media company as well. Fascinating, isn't it? That's how you know. Oh, you're another one. What do you got, about 300 followers on Twitter? That's how you can peep these guys. You can see these guys coming from a mile away.
So I've been getting a lot of feedback about the video I posted a couple of days ago that includes a critique of this man, Phil Scott, who's one of the correspondents on the Africa Diaspora Network. He is one of the primary individuals spreading disinformation within the African American community. His channel is full of lies. It promotes Donald Trump talking points, and it also spreads a lot of anti-immigrant sentiment. Folks, we really have to be careful and pay attention to the people who claim to be a part of the community, but really are acting as agents, provocateur, for Donald Trump and his associates and allies. Don't be fooled. Not all skin folk are kinfolk. Don't pay attention to the African Diaspora Network. It's full of misinformation. It's a Trojan horse for Donald Trump, and the goal is to suppress the black vote or trick black people into voting for someone who doesn't have our best interest at heart.
When I see stuff like that, y'all see, now don't listen to him, listen to me, because, and Phil, you said Phil has anti-immigrant sentiment on his page? I told you these people don't do no damn homework. Out of all the people you picked to say that he's xenophobic, you literally picked Phil Scott. Oh my goodness. Score for the Dunce Squad. Jeez. hey, fella, perhaps you might just tune into a video or two. And this lets you know that he hasn't actually watched Phil Scott at all. Because for those of you who watch Phil Scott, what do you see at the very beginning of his videos? It's like at the beginning of all of his videos. What the hell is it? What is Phil Scott's channel advertising right now? They're advertising their tour to Ethiopia. But here's this guy lying on Brother Phil. Here's my critique of him. I did my critique. Well, how you gonna critique somebody you ain't watched? Now, I don't know who this moron is, but I just had to just chime in because I'm like, nah, you know, and like I said, Brother Phil don't need nobody to come to his defense at all. But, bro, you just basically, you just lying on the man. And no. So I just wanted to bring light to that because this is the type of thing. When you seen Luke crash out over Reza, then you look at the little lower level guys, the other, you know, I don't know how to really label it, but I'm just saying, you know, and I could be wrong. Maybe I'm judging the book by the cover, but fellas like carrying themselves like this probably don't really have a major way with the ladies. I could be wrong, though. I could just be judging a book by the cover and be completely dead ass wrong. I could be. And if I'm wrong, oh, well, yeah, you know, okay. I was wrong, no problem. But he just kind of give me that energy. What y'all think? You get this here. So you know, it looks like no. I not that I really expected anybody to show, but expected, and people just feel that black men are to always just be talked to in a kind of way, saying to because I'm a black woman, I'm just going to be voting Democrat. No, I'm going to need something for my vote. We're going to need some tangibles. So what you're seeing is a unified front between black men and black women. At the same time, when you had a few years ago, let's see, the Democrats want to be rewarded for something. Well, let's reward them with the truth of their history, shall we? It's the Democrat policies that have been, and the Democrat mission to disrupt and promote an anti-intact family agenda upon the black community. You can see it right now with what they're still trying to. We're seeing the byproducts and the residual crud off of this agenda because now it's manifested itself in music. And they don't know how to do anything. Well, you got these kids on demon time. That's how you wanted them. Mindless, you know, mindless, heartless, soulless, lean sipping, junkie, drug addict killers. And some of them still have talent, so they have enough time to rap about what they're doing. Then turn around and snitch on themselves on all of their music. That's the nature of drill music, I guess. Dissing dead individuals. I'm gonna diss my dead ops. I'm seeing wild, nutty stuff out here. That ain't no part of no code. So yeah, that's they call it demon time. That's monster time. That's what that is. That ain't even brothers hanging out on the corner. No, that's monster time. Y'all over here don't value life worth a damn. And let me tell y'all, folks, I am not one of them people that say, well, we got to save our young brothers. That's our army for. No. There's a difference between a soldier and a fool. Any fool can pick up a gun and indiscriminately go delete as many people as they want to before they get caught. A soldier is doing a job, holding down their responsibility because of their commitment to what they believe in, and willing to put their life on the line to defend, protect it. Why? Because they honor it. So a soldier is not at all anything like some demon time fool. No, 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 no. So for me, I've seen way too much to ever waste my time on that. Now, I ain't saying that demon time thing can't change on an individual. It probably can. But that's going to be an inward thing for them. Don't expect that, like, the people think that what you going to go out there and do? Go be Mr. Evangelist? Yeah, let me tell you something, son. You need to pull your pants up, and you actually need to go ahead and get some pants that fit you, because them pants are looking like Peter Pan, and I don't understand why you got all the rips in your pants, and then your pants is hanging off your ass. Like, you need to just pull them up. We and the other thing, what is it? I'm gonna have this big old banana, this big old extra long clip hanging out my pants. Why is that a thing? Like, we grew up in the land and the world of concealed weapons. The cat's walking around with a 32-round clip hanging out a pistol. What are you doing that for? And I'm gonna stick it in some skinny jeans. I look cool. This is insane. And then they just, all this nonsense killing, and you rap about it. This is the byproduct of the system. On the flip side, you have sexy reds. It looked like Suki Hana keep trying to get up under Dr. Umar, so I don't know what's happening there, but you got the sexy reds and the Suki Hana music. She might be trying to change her ways, or just change him, you know. And I mean, as a man gets older, I would assume that you'd be changing your direction of, maybe I don't need to mess with the ratchet. I'm a little old to be getting confused, mixed up in with some ratchet. With that mouth, I say that like how she speaks. Not that thing that got Ray J hopping up in your DMs. Wow. Fall back. Oh, I didn't know y'all was out here messing with Suki Hana like that. Word? That's a thing, huh? I guess I don't watch enough Love and Hip Hop. I didn't know. Wow. But like I said, this is a byproduct of all of the foolishness that they have sold us. And we're no longer biting on that. But, that's why I guess they figured sending Luke out to go attack foundational Black Americans would be something that would be a draw. But I think for all intents and purposes, for all parties involved on this grassroots level, we know what we know what Luke is. So who is really going to go pop up in his room and be like, yeah, we finna go one-on-one with Luke? Yeah, who cares? Let that idiot flame out. Why paying attention to what Luke? Are you kidding? The hell he got? What does he have to say of value over here? Not a damn thing. Well, black man, you trying to split your black community, and you want to get up here, and you just up here trying to defend what he said. Up here just going crazy on reason. And then keep trying to manufacture some kind of rift between the nation and Foundation of Black America, which makes no sense. Farrakhan has been nonstop fighting for black folks. And I've seen other people that speak like, I don't get it. They speak foul of this brother. And number one, look at Minister Farrakhan. He is an elder. And watch how he, as one of our elders, has been allowed to consistently be attacked by outsiders. And people's response is distancing themselves from standing with him. But yet and still, he still fights for black folks. All of y'all that do have something negative to say about the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan not being FBA, and you guys must hate him. Absolutely not. Because his contribution far outweighs any type of level of fight that most of you have ever done for your loved ones, so-called, that he's done for the people that have not stood with him, stood against him, throwing darts from behind while he's still speaking for black folk. You don't have to agree with everything a person says. You don't have to agree with their religious belief. You don't have to agree with their practical philosophy. But the one true thing is, if they are demonstrating before your very eyes and ears, and you can witness that this person has literally fought for black folk, that should be recognized. And also something else I can't help but notice. Y'all notice Buckethead done shown back up, and all of a sudden he's showing Tariq's wife, and, well, yeah, she's Jewish and Haitian. I can't believe I've heard that line before. I still can't place where I've heard it, but it's amazing. Right here now, you're making it a point, and people be making these weird straw man arguments that I guess they think that we should entertain. Man, his wife is mixed, and at first his wife was white. Now, oh man, well, his wife is mixed, and he ain't. So y'all ain't sticking to. He ain't holding y'all to what he's sticking to, and blah blah blah. Look, he ain't married to a white woman, and for me, again, let's go back to that work thing. Then people say, "Well, man, he's just selling stuff." Good. Because the one thing that we've always talked about is black entrepreneurship. But I guess it's cool as long as it ain't Tariq Nasheed. Yeah, man, black business, black business. Tariq Nasheed, oh man, that's a grift. That's one thing we need to stop doing. See, this is grassroots, and then people think so little of the grassroots. And we have now shown the world that, no, we aren't a little thing. We are no little thing at all. And I'm glad that, the minister has decided to take, he did his swan song. He did the Criterion and then followed it up with the swan song. And it's pretty much, I think his message, he said what he's needed to say. And there's a lot of us that are here. And so instead of looking for one man, you're looking for many. And that's the whole point, because that's how we rebuild our community the way it's supposed to be. And we're not looking for outsiders. So were you all looking for the white man to do this? No, we're not looking for the white man to do nothing but pay us what we're due and pay us what we're owed, because that's the fact. And we're not going to play no psychological game about where you just want to hand out. Reparations is nothing of a handout. And if you are in America and your family did not own slaves or participate in making sure slaves did not go free, then that means that you are an immigrant and your family is of immigrant lineage that was able to come over here during the Homestead Act, which is a United States government handout program specifically for white European peasants to come over here and undermine the economic upward turn and trajectory that they were forecasting Black Americans would have when left to their own devices. So what did they do? They let you peasants come over here and then learn how to farm. They taught you how to farm because you didn't come here with skills. You came here and got taught on the U.S. dime, like what we're seeing right now coming from the south border. Why are we now supposed to look at this mass amnesty at the south border and any different than the Homestead Act? How should we look at it any different? Where's the difference for us? I would love to know. See, you guys just don't understand how the government works. It's just civic. Y'all just stupid. Stupid ain't gonna sit up here and prevent Venezuelan gang members from kicking in your door, taking over your apartment complex like the Carter. And then to know that you have a sitting government who let them in, and they ain't sending nobody over there to do nothing about it neither. Yet and still, protests are met with police force. How does that work? Protests are met with police force. Venezuelan gangs allowed to come in here and amass their numbers under this current administration. This current administration ain't doing nothing. So with all of that talk that she does about stopping fentanyl when she was in California, what about all the fentanyl that's coming in right now? And we see over there in Aurora, Venezuelan gang members, they over there on the phone calling up more reinforcements. So we have to definitely understand we are dealing with folks that aren't playing on the correct level. You know what I'm saying? And these folks cannot be trusted. They should not be trusted. Let me see something here. Yeah, he stunted this bill, and it would have been this and it would have been that, and the bipartisan of it all, and this, that, and the other. Family. Executive order on restoring faith in our legal immigration system and strengthening integration and inclusion efforts for new Americans. February 2nd, 2021. Some people say that Joe Biden didn't run on open borders. Oh, word? The hell he didn't? Now, and for further more clarity, just for clarity's sake, WhiteHouse.gov. Reverse President Trump's executive order excluding undocumented immigrants from the portonment count. President-elect Biden will sign an executive order to revoke the prior administration's orders setting out an unlawful plan to exclude non-citizens from the census. Exclude non-citizens from the census. Why are they being included on our census? This is what... See, they didn't want to answer no question. Well, I feel okay. I got questions, ma'am. If you stand by what you believe in and all of this, what about this? Unlawful? How are you calling an unlawful plan to exclude non-citizens from the census and apportionment of congressional representatives? I'm having a hell of a time with that word. But President-elect Biden will ensure that the Census Bureau has time to complete an accurate population count for each state. He will then present to Congress an apportionment, boy, that word is killing me, that is fair and accurate so federal resources are efficiently and fairly distributed for the next decade. The next decade. What the... Yo. If you voting for this man, I just want to know how. You voting for this woman? How? These... You were on Team Biden, now you're on Team Harris. How? Are you a glutton for abuse? Like, what on earth could Donald Trump say? And I'm not saying vote for him. You can vote for Cornel West. Cornel West is still in the race. Jill Stein is still in the race. And you could definitely vote for them. You could write in yourself. Hell, I don't care. But what about a possible even an 8-year swing of this? What about this is appealing? What about this is appealing? 4 years of Trump and you're done. 4 years and you're done with him. But let's also look at gentrification and all of these years. We're not going back. We're not going back. So you're trying to go forward with the rampant gentrification that Democrat cities and Democratic governments have put on Black folks in modern day times and era within the last 12 to at least 12 years. Seems to me like we need to be doing something completely different. Not because if you're saying we don't want to go back to his 4 years, well, your 12 years sucks. Your 12 years for us sucks. So what should we do? Cornel West talked to our brother Black Alpha Network. That's about, and he was kind of stuck on Palestine, but I mean, that Palestine is a talking point. I get it. He was definitely kept trying to steer everybody back there. No, we're not. And don't come to black folks trying to get black folks to start caping for other groups. No, we only got time to worry about us right now. We got our business. And I heard Greg Carr, you a sucker for real, bro. That these Pan-Africanists, going back to Buckethead, Greg Carr, these Pan-Africanists, I've been telling y'all, these dudes is compromised, man. Right now, I'm just saying they straight up COINTELPRO. Because I'm getting dressed this morning. I'm listening to Sirius Radio, right? There's an Urban View. And Greg Carr has got this show with this other brother, Lamont something, right? And I'm hearing him, he's doing this little spiel, and he mentions Tariq Nasheed. Like, that's interesting. And the way that these people are lying on other individuals is shameful. And so now that you have to mention his name over a medium such as radio, it's followed up with a lie. So also be mindful of that going on now. And with this Democratic push, they are doing a lot. How can I say it? They are enforcing the lie and lie some more policy. So all you're going to start seeing is really, truth be told, baseless accusations and blatant lies. And they'll say, well, this is what this is. Like and the other sick thing that they're doing right now is they're intermingling in vitro with abortion. In vitro is not abortion. In vitro is trying to have a baby. But they're doing a lot, man. This is wicked. And it's all based on deception. I just don't get with it. So much deception. There's a little more I want to play. And speaking of in vitro, I just saw, because that was one of the pieces that they had during the DNC, that somehow Trump wanted to stop in vitro. But see, here's the problem that they keep running into. That in vitro thing comes from the Heritage Foundation, not Donald Trump. So it's like, well, you're still doing your lying and saying this is Donald Trump. No, it's the Heritage Foundation. Oh, well, those are his friends. They don't work for the man anymore. Oh, well, they're still in cahoots. His advisors and all of this. Okay. But it's not his plan. And so now he's coming out with talked about a law that will be able to get free in vitro to couples trying to conceive. And so now the DNC slick trick is trying to find some kind of way of shoehorning abortion into supporting in vitro. It's a very insane mix. But nonetheless, let's hear some more.
A question, because again, this is all new. This was not, however many days ago, this was not on either of your bingo cards, especially yours. You had to clarify that you had said that you and your wife used IVF, but it turned out you used a different kind of fertility in order to have children. And then when you ran for Congress in 2006, your campaign repeatedly made false statements about a 1995 arrest for drunk and reckless driving. What do you say to voters who aren't sure whether they can take you at your word?
Well, I've been very public. I think they can see my students come out, former folks I've served with, and they vouch for me. I certainly own my mistakes when I make them. The one thing I'll tell you is I wished in this country wouldn't have to do this. I spoke about our infertility issues because it's hell, and families know this. And I spoke about the treatments that were available to us that had those beautiful children there. That's quite a contrast in folks that are trying to take those rights away from us. And so I think people know who I am. They know that record. They've seen that. I've taught thousands of students. I've been out there, and I won't apologize for speaking passionately, whether it's guns in schools or protecting of reproductive rights. The contrast could not be clearer between what we're running against. The vice president's position on this has been clear. And I think most Americans get it if you've been through that. I don't think they're cutting hairs on IVF or IUI. I think what they're cutting hairs on is an abortion ban and the ability to be able to deny families the chance to have a beautiful child.
Okay, now, I'm glad he actually said that at the end. However, that is not what you're going to be hearing from the media. The media is going to keep, because whatever agenda is really going out there, so maybe Tim Walsh might have went a little bit off of script, because what it's kind of seeming like right now, some powers that be behind the scenes is like, ixnay on that talking point. No, we got to start coupling in vitro and abortion as same. So we're going to try to tie in having life. Let's not separate having life from the leading life. It's insane, man. These people are nuts. These people are nuts. Okay, so let's hear a little more from Waltz, because I found this to be kind of funny. There's a little on the funny side.
Governor Walz, the country is just starting to get to know you. I want to ask you a question about how you've described your service in the National Guard. You said that you carried weapons in war, but you have never deployed actually in a war zone. A campaign official said that you misspoke. Did you?
Well, first of all, I'm incredibly proud. I've done 24 years of wearing the uniform of this country. Equally proud of my service in a public school classroom, whether it's Congress or the governor. My record speaks for itself, but I think people are coming to get to know me. I speak like they do. I speak candidly. I wear my emotions on my sleeves, and I speak especially passionately about our children being shot in schools and around guns. So I think people know me. They know who I am. They know where my heart is. And again, my record has been out there for over 40 years to speak for itself.
And the idea that you said that you were in war, did you misspeak as the campaign has said?
Yeah, I said we were talking about, in this case, this was after a school shooting, the ideas of carrying these weapons of war. And my wife, the English teacher, told me my grammar is not always correct. But again, if it's not this, it's an attack on my children for showing love for me, or it's an attack on my dog. I'm not going to do that. And the one thing I'll never do is I'll never demean another member's service in any way. I never have, and I never will.
Okay. Not really answering the question, but all right there, Tim. And this is what y'all want, huh? Let's see. There's a little more here I wanted to play. Not much, but a little bit. Okay. Not that. Not that. We touched that. Let's see. Okay. Now we see that. I'm going through these. I just want to make sure I got. Okay. I think this might be it. Okay. Okay. So this might be about one of the close to last ones I'm playing. So this is a cold question right here.
You have been vice president
Let's hear what
for
she has
3.5 years. The steps that you're talking about now, Why haven't you done them already?
Well, first of all, we had to recover as an economy, and we have done that. I'm very proud of the work that we have done that has brought inflation down to less than 3%. The work that we have done to cap the cost of insulin at $35 a month for seniors. Donald Trump said he was going to do a number of things, including allowing Medicare to negotiate drug prices. Never happened. We did it. So now, as I travel in the state of Georgia and around our country, the number of seniors that have benefited, I was in Nevada recently, a grandmother who showed me her receipts. And before we capped the cost of insulin for seniors at $35 a month, she was paying hundreds of dollars, up to thousands of dollars a month for her insulin. She's not doing that
So you
anymore.
maintain Bidenomics is a success.
I maintain that when we do the work of bringing down prescription medication for the American people, including capping the cost of the annual cost of prescription medication for seniors at $2,000.
So for all of you DNCers, I guess that's your talking point. See, she talks about black folks. She was talking about diabetes medicine. There's so many black people that suffer with diabetes. I mean, clearly, you know that she was doing that. And she thinking about the people. Lord.
When we do what we did in the first year of being in office to extend the child tax credit so that we cut child poverty in America by over 50%.
By the way, when I heard that, I was like, what is the metric that you're using to figure out how you cut child poverty? And maybe she cut child poverty. Well, they could cut child poverty with them numbers because the poverty that they got these children out of aren't citizens. Think about that. You raised the child poverty level, yes, because you gave all of these illegals whole family deals. So not only are they using them illegals to replace us, they're using them to pad the numbers. This is wicked as all get out.
We do what we have done to invest in
Sinister.
the American people and bringing manufacturing back to the United States so that we created over 800,000 new manufacturing jobs, bringing business back to America. What we have done to improve the supply chain so we're not relying on foreign governments to supply American families with their basic needs, I'll say that that's good work. There's more to do, but that's good work.
So I have another question. With Fortune 500 companies and all of these business closures going on around and strikes going on all around the states, how does that play into, like, what would you address to remedy these issues to where Fortune 500 companies and banks aren't laying off people? Let me see. Okay, there's one more thing. Okay, so you know what? Let me go here. I know what I'll do. Give me 1 second. It's her first question. So let me to this. I think this is probably 2. Let me see. Okay. All right, let me get this queued up here for family. Okay. Okay. All right. So this is, I believe, the last one I need to play for this evening. So let me get this in here. Let's hear the question.
We're really eager to hear what your plans are. If you are elected, what would you do on day one in the White House?
Well, there are a number of things. I will tell you, first and foremost, one of my highest priorities is to do what we can to support and strengthen the middle class. When I look at the aspirations, the goals, the ambitions of the American people, I think that people are ready for a new way forward, in a way that generations of Americans have been fueled by hope and by optimism. I think, sadly, in the last decade, we have had in the former president someone who has really been pushing an agenda and in an environment that is about diminishing the character and the strength of who we are as Americans, really dividing our nation. And I think people are ready to turn the page on that.
So what would you do day one?
Day one, it's going to be about, one, implementing my plan for what I call an opportunity economy. I've already laid out a number of proposals in that regard, which include what we're going to do to bring down the cost of everyday goods, what we're going to do to invest in America's small businesses, what we're going to do to invest in families, for example, extending the child tax credit to $6,000 for families for the first year of their child's life, to help them buy a car seat, to help them buy baby.
And how much of that is going to new arriving illegals? How much y'all think? How much y'all think that that's going to illegals? I'll hear a little more. We done with it.
Clothes, a crib. There's the work that we're going to do that is about investing in the American family around affordable housing, a big issue in our country right now. So there are a number of things on day one. What about you?
Well, I'm excited about this agenda too. As I said, the idea of inspiring America to what can be. And I think many of these things that the vice president's proposing are things that we share in values. And the child tax credit is one we know that reduces childhood poverty by a third. We did it in Minnesota to have a federal partner in this.
Minnesota has a gang of immigrants as well. Thanks, Tim. Thanks, Kimmy. Oh. But we need to vote for that. That's what we need to vote for. Y'all just trying to make trouble. This is a bad deal. This is a bad deal. And I'm sure there will be people in the comments. Hey, man, you must just support Trump. You just want Trump to win, don't you? No. But at the end of the day, for me right now, whoever is willing to fire up that jet got a fighting chance. Because right now, all they worrying about is make America joyful again. With kittens and hugs and laughs and giggles. Do my coon laugh. And don't do narcotics, family. Just saying. Do your Kamala. Oh, well, that's going to be a new thing. Do your Kamala. Queen Nile in the building. Salute, Queen Nile. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Yes, indeed. And we got Lady F in the building. Lady F in the house. Salute to you, my good sister. Thank you for being here. And, of course, being a member. Black first. Yeah. We got Mr. Power Tool in the house doing double duty. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And what was that? Okay. So, I think I sure did. Scylla T, Jersey City in the building. Shout out to you. Thank you for being here this evening. And Jamil West. It's the first time I believe I've seen that name in the chat. Black First. Appreciate you for being here. Yeah, family. So, so with Kamala, tell you got to do your Kamala. Just hey, anybody ask you an important question, give them your Kamala. Just hey, gonna be at work, be like, hey, did you get that task done? Oh, what? This is a damn president, man. This is the job she's running for. Oh, you guys don't like her. That's a nervous laugh. I don't have anything to say. It's hilarious, isn't it? Woo, buy me some time. So, family, there's one last clip I want to play because this is something in the element that Roland Martin beat, and his ilk, the Greg Carts, because they're only focused on us. When they should be focusing on who else might have been grossly turned off last night. And that's white women. So y'all just can't sit up here and say that you black men is hating this and that. Well, she's not really done anything to get our support. She's not, and all of that. But it's because she's black. Well, she's not to me. So there's that. And here's the other problem. She is like, let's see what she's listed at on paper now as. Is Kamala still listed as a Caucasian? Because if she is, here's another voting bloc that, of course, put Donald Trump in the White House without the black vote. So here is another vote or a set of vote or group of votes that needs consideration if you want to get in that White House, because you need black folks, the voters, the new wave of black voting, which is educated and demanding something in return. So demanding tangibles for the vote. And now we have white women who are now pissed off. I don't know how this turns for Kamala Harris now at this point. One would probably say it doesn't. So let's see what this lady has to say.
I'm going to say pardon my language in this video before I even get started because I'm pissed. I'm pissed. I'm seriously considering leaving the United States and going to get a citizenship somewhere else and then just walking my ass back across the border. Because do you know that I will be 46 years old next month? And my husband and I worked our asses off to get off drugs.
Damn. 46. Wow. Ooh-wee. That's 46, huh? All right.
To stay sober, to get jobs, to climb those ladders, to make good money, to save our money, to be able to buy a home. And we bought our home this year. We bought our home with outrageous fucking interest rates because of the damn inflation around here. We have made it work. We have hustled and we have worked our asses off to get what we have. And now California is just handing that shit out like Pez to the illegal immigrants. So not only do they come over here and they get thousands of dollars in food stamps, they get some cash on a card and they get free health care and they get free education. We're just going to give them a fucking house too, because why not? I mean, let's just go ahead and install somebody in their home to wipe their ass for them, because why not? I mean, It's our money. You know what I mean? We should be able to delegate where we want it to go, right? So in every illegal immigrant's home, I'd like somebody perched in the bathroom to wipe their ass for them. Because why not? It's just something else you can give them that should go to us, that should go to the single moms that are out here trying to feed their children, and should go to the veterans that are asleep on the damn sidewalk, and all the homeless people that are out here. And I don't understand why our money's going to Ukraine. I don't understand why our money's going to Israel. I don't understand why our fucking money is going to illegal immigrants. If you want to come to this country, you do it legally. If you want a home in this country, you do what the fucking rest of us have to do, and you work your ass off, and you earn that money, and you pay for it like the rest of us do. These handouts are getting fucking ridiculous. And like I said in the beginning of the video, pardon my language, but this has got me pissed plumb off. I am so sick of democratic government thinking that we can just, we're Santa Claus and you just give our fucking money to everybody. And then I'm also sick of our Republican senators folding like a fucking dinner napkin when it comes to handing out our money. You're supposed to be representing us. So I don't care. I don't know what dirty little secrets that you guys have up there in the Congress and in the Senate and in the White House that you don't want people from Ukraine or Israel or anybody else telling, but you might as well come on, step up to the mic and let everybody know what it is, because we're sick of this bullshit. Stop handing out our money to everybody else except for us.
From foundational Black Americans to foundational white Americans, we are both saying, hashtag, fire up the jet. Anything less than mass deportations will not get you elected. You better understand where the temperature of America is right now. It's very rare that a lot of our interests align. But anybody that's willing to fire up that jet is going to be the absolute front runner. Because, because when I first started seeing the Venezuela videos and seeing the Ring camera videos, people were like, oh, man, that might be doctored. We don't know if it's real. Well, now you do. It's been reported. It's been in the news. So meaning that you actually saw it from the grassroots before they actually confirmed it on the news. But this is what they done, man. And I mean, this is what we doing? They taking over this joint like the damn Carter, man. What is it? This is it's Nuevo Jack City. I mean, what? And they just up in here, man, they up in here running through. Hey, Nino, hey, negra. And they over here just running through with all kind of weaponry. Like, they treating this smug like a third world country. Yeah, we coming in here. Who in here? Yeah. I mean, this is insane. And it's been confirmed, like, yes, this is happening. And it ain't cool. So the people better understand, man, we cannot continue to keep voting against our own interests and saying that Donald Trump represents some kind of negative part of our interests at this moment. That ain't true. Project 2025, I'm not over here hurting for abortions. That's your thing? That's your thing. But, you know, it's funny. Black men, this, black man, that. They're all really quick to just down black men. Oh, and here's another piece that I found a little interesting. Let me get this in here, too, because that's kind of freaking funny. Something that she said in her interview. I've tried hundreds of cases, right? Well, about that 100 cases thing, I guess you could say anything when you're running. You could lie all you need to, but when you're forced in a deposition of a legal matter, you got to tell the truth. So let's hear Kamala Harris telling the truth.
You should be embarrassed as a prosecutor that you've had 6 cases overturned, 4 of which have been for prosecutorial misconduct.
I'm glad you corrected.
Be
Ms. Harris,
embarrassed.
how many cases have you tried? Can you tell us how many serious felonies you have tried? Can you tell us once
I've
for
tried
sure?
about 50 cases, Mr. Fazio, and it's about leadership.
You know, Ms. Harris, why does your information, which is still published, say that you tried hundreds of serious felonies? I think that's misleading. I think that's disingenuous. I think that shows that you are incapable of leadership and you're not to be trusted. You've continued to put out information which says you have tried hundreds of serious felonies.
Mr. Fazio, leadership
Can
is
you
about
answer my question?
working with different communities. As a career prosecutor, I've done that, which is why I, not you, have every law enforcement organization.
She is dishonest. Openly and proudly. And so looking at how the first administration had said, America's doomed. So Joe Biden's telling black America, telling black leaders this. America is doomed, not just because of the blacks, but because it'll be minority white. So we won't be able to sit here and rule you Negroes like we want to. And you will have to be getting under our more subservient slaves that we're bringing in over here by the droves, the Hispanics. And y'all gonna have to start working with them, learn how to work with them because they make up more y'all than y'all do. I'll tell you something. Always remember how all of this started.
We had a very busy and active day today, as you all know, but I wanted to take a moment to go through the 15 executive actions, or highlights of them, I should say, and some of the steps that the president asked agencies to take today. You should have all received copies of the executive orders as well as the accompanying fact sheets, but I want to take this moment to highlight them for the American public who are watching at home. He signed a proclamation effective immediately, halting further funding or construction of the previous administration's border wall and terminating the so-called national emergency used to wastefully divert billions for wall construction. Also today, President Biden sent an immigration bill to Congress. The U.S. Citizenship Act modernizes our immigration system. It provides hardworking people who've enriched our communities and lived here for decades an opportunity to earn citizenship. The president's priority reflected in the bill are to responsibly manage the border, keep families together, grow our economy, address the root causes of migration from Central America, and ensure that America can remain a refuge for those fleeing prosecution. With that, I'd love to take your questions. Zeke, why don't you kick us off?
So for those who don't understand, there it is. And that is the Red Witch, Psaki, when she was the secretary, the White House secretary, press secretary. Now you have Shea Pierre that lies in her position. So all these executive orders for specific groups, even illegals, LGBTQ, later on Asians, still nothing for black folks. Well, I'll tell y'all, we saw how it went. You took black folks for granted. And they had the nerve to get in front of, after they get you in the White House, tell these black folks that you're going to have to get used to dealing with the Hispanics. Well, I'm telling you, anybody who is telling Black America that they're willing to fire up the jet has a strong chance of being the next person to sit in that seat in the Oval Office. Because you're going to have to cut the check and you're going to have to fire up the jet. Because we fully understand Ukraine is not our responsibility whatsoever. And so some of us just might have to vote couch for president. Because if it's no tangibles, then it's no vote. If it's no black agenda, then it's no vote. And so President Couch or could be President Couch gets the vote or might get the vote because we, at the end of the day, are voting no to benign neglect. Benign neglect is over as far as we are concerned. There will be no more acceptance of nothing except for some. Once again, don't do narcotics. With that being said, family, Babylon has fallen. Babylon has fallen. Let it fall and let us rise. Can you dig it? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Family, family, family. And at the end of the day, we know Babylon has fallen. Why? Because this system that they want us to rely on, we understand and have understood, but it's our generation now that is becoming the next wave of voters. And one big thing that this world has taught our generation and has free truth of what this system truly is.
How can black people rise up and overcome?
Get out and vote?
That is incorrect. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Now, listen here. I'm sure there's somebody watching that said, I don't want to come up here and I don't want to say anything because he's just going to clown me and this and that. We could have had a good conversation. I don't know. Maybe I might need to do a space. Who knows? It's been a while since I've been in spaces. So who knows? I might have to open up a space at some point over the weekend just to see why we should vote for Kamala Harris. You're still voting for it. Why should we vote for it? And I don't need to hear about what Trump is bad and this and that. No, why should we vote for her? I want to know what the for her part is. If there's no for her and it's just against him, you're still giving the against him, and so him being him, more relevance. Don't think y'all understand that part. You keep giving him the relevance. That's bad campaigning, and it's not us. It's you. So for you blue no matter who, and DNC shields, paid ones or not, understand you are dealing with a politically educated class over here, a researched class, a studied class, and most importantly, a class that knows that they are an exceptional people. What can you do with a group that knows it is an exceptional people? I would say it'd be kind of hard to do anything other than honor and respect it. However, those of you out here might be doing something different and feel I will never, ever, ever respect those that are against the Democratic Party. I'm blue no matter who. And I ain't never gonna do nothing else. Well, those of you of the Moses generation that is clearly dying off, and the ones of you who are young enough, stupid enough to hold on, I speak for myself. Beatzilla PDX official, the Beatzilla PDX official show. Those of you in the chat, the grassroots, the voices of new black media. I can safely say I'm speaking for all parties involved when we proudly dedicate this song to you.
Get up off of that cocaine and get up off of that crack. Get yourself together and get your mind back.
Hashtag hands off our reparations.
You have no rights here. We're not under the empire.
Family, you can follow me on X, Facebook, and Instagram at BeatZillaPDX. You can email me at ourrealtruth@gmail.com. And if you feel so inclined to put some money in the bucket, you can definitely do so at CashApp, $BeatzIllaPDX. And of course, we have PayPal, which is Zilla Muzak. That is ZILLAMUZAK at PayPal. So with that being said, family, I appreciate everybody who was tuned in this evening on X and on here on YouTube. For those of you on X, I would get over here to this YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe. Hit the notification bell, hit the word all. That way you'll be notified anytime this channel goes live or a video is uploaded. And so there's, of course, all the videos will be airing on this channel, not necessarily on X. So if you want to see everything that this channel produces, you got to come over here to the YouTube channel and subscribe. So with that being said, family, we are about to get this weekend started. It is a 3-day weekend for a lot of you. So for those who are traveling, be safe. For those who are staying in the cities, be safe. And if you're going to events or whatnot, then, you might have, then it's going to be public and outside. And, just keep your 3 smooth stones at the ready and keep your slingshot nearby. Stay black, stay vigilant, stay alive. Black first, black first, black first. Shalom, y'all. Have a blessed, restful weekend. Peace.
When you know who Satan is, yes, sir, you don't have to kill him. No. The stone of truth. Yes. See, that's what you throw. Yes, right. Allah says, had we wished to take a pastime from before, surely we would have done it. Nay, we cast truth at falsehood till we knock out its brains. Every one of you that knows the truth, stand up and tell it from the mountaintop. Black people can't take it no more. So wherever you are on the job, in the factory, I don't care where you are. If you know the truth, stand up on the truth and tell Satan, who the hell are you to try and pick my friends? Farrakhan is God's man, and you are from the enemy of God. So to hell with you. Stand up on it like a man.